When you're writing an answer to the Task 1 writing question for the academic version of IELTS, paying attention to detail has a really good impact on your score. One of the areas of details that you need to look at is how to use prepositions. If you get the prepositions right, then it's going to be a big boost to the result of your writing in Academic Task 1. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video. The good news is there are only 4 prepositions that you need to master, and then you've basically got it covered. If you're going to take the IELTS academic test this year, then this is going to be an essential video for you. Make sure that you keep watching to the end and find out about the 4 prepositions that you need to use when you're writing trend sentences. Hi there, my name's David Bourne and I am your IELTS coach for IELTS Breakthrough. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these free tutorials. And of course, welcome back to our subscribers as well. It's great that you're watching my videos. IELTS Breakthrough is a YouTube channel that helps you get a high score in IELTS so that you can study at an international university and progress in your career. All right, let's get started on the prepositions that you need to use when you're writing trend sentences in Task 1 of the academic IELTS. And the good news is these prepositions are quite simple. Here they are. We have to, at, from and to, and lastly, by. These 4 prepositions help you do one essential thing. They give clear reference to the data points, and this boosts your score into the band 7 territory because you will be describing each data point from the chart accurately, and examiners love to see this. So let's go through each preposition one by one. We'll start with the very simple preposition to. So to is used when the value of the data point changes. Use to describe a data point that ends at a specific value. You can use to with most of the trend words. Increased, fell, plunged, rose, shot up, and all of those verbs that describe trends up and trends down. Here are a few examples for you. The figure increased to 37%. The number of visitors rose to 1,200. The rate plunged to 125. As an aside here, it's worth noting that your data points are only going to come in 2 forms. They're going to come either as percentages or numbers. So that's good news. It makes things a bit simpler, really, doesn't it? Now, the second preposition is at. And you use at when the value does not change or it has stopped changing. So the trend verbs that you might use here are often the verbs that describe where there is actually no change in the data. I'm talking about verbs like remained stable, remained constant, leveled off, reached a plateau, and so on. And here are a few examples. The figure remained stable at 45%. The number levelled off at 450. The total stood at 97. Another aside here, in these examples, I have not included the variable. I've kept the variable very simple and generic. Remember that when you are writing a full task 1 answer, you do need to write the variable out properly. But this video is about prepositions, it's not about variables. So that's why I've just kept a very simple variable in these examples. Now, remember, there is a video on how to write the variables. Please check that out after this one. The third type of preposition you can use is from with to. So this preposition describes a range. Use from and to when you are describing the starting and ending of each data point. Here are some examples for you. The percentage increased from 29% to 37%. The visitor numbers rose from 995 to 1,200. Applications plunged from 380 to 125. From and to is a very common preposition combination that you will use when you're writing your task 1 answer. So please make sure you pay attention to this particular section of the video. And it's really good because it does show the examiner that you have very good awareness of those data points. And then the last preposition you need to know about is by. And by describes the amount of change that has happened in a data point or in a category. It gives the reader information to the question, how much did this change? Here are some example trend sentences with by. The figure increased by 8%. Visitor numbers fell by 205. The rate grew by a small margin. Now, there's a common mistake that happens with by, and the mistake is that writers confuse by with from and to. So, for example, this sentence is wrong. The percentage increased by 50% to 60%. That is wrong. You need to use either from and to. The percentage increased from 50% to 60%. Or alternatively, you can use by, but you'd have to do the maths and you'd say the percentage increased by 10%. So bear that in mind, don't make those mistakes. As I said, attention to detail is the thing that gets you the higher scores in task 1. So the mistake might seem small to you, but examiners notice these things. And they are the 4 prepositions you can use. Let me just summarize them. To gives the final value of the data point. At refers to a stable value. From with to describes the range, the starting and ending of a data point. And by describes the amount of change. Now, of course, it's always a good idea to practice using these prepositions. So if you want to check out the link below, I've got an interactive activity that you can use to improve your performance in using these prepositions. It's interactive, which means it's a bit of fun. And the good news is I'm not asking for your email or anything like that. You do need to just give your name so that I can see how many people are using the exercise, and that's it. But no email, no sign up required, and of course it's completely free. Check out the link in the description. If you have any questions about using prepositions in Task 1, drop them in the comments section. It would be great to help you with your Task 1 writing of the academic version of IELTS. And remember, you also need to write variables properly, so check out the variables video that I have available for you in this YouTube channel. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. Have a great weekend, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you're doing.